Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this video is an exciting one because I'm about to travel to Newcastle upon Tyne for the Great North Run. So I'm really excited. It's a massive event. I did it in 2019 and I was lucky enough to get into the ballot again for this year. So I'm really excited. Training hasn't really gone to plan, I'll be honest, and I have got a bit of an injury to my leg, but I've spoken to my physio and I'm okay to run on it, but it means that I'm not gonna try and get like a really fast time or anything like that. I'm just gonna, hopefully I can enjoy the atmosphere and fingers crossed I can actually finish it. It's just a tight muscle that I've got on my right leg, and yeah, it's just a bit sore, so I'm going to put some tape on it and wear my compression socks and hope for the best. So yeah, I'm just about to travel up to Newcastle. It's about 3 hours, so I will check in again once we get to the hotel. So we've just arrived in Newcastle after a 3-hour drive, and the hotel is really nice, and the hotel have also as well given us a really nice little card, which I'll show you. Oh, how nice is this? I love it. So yeah, anyway, we're going to now go and have a walk just to see where the start line is and everything. I think we're about 40 minutes walk away, so just want to see where it is so that I know where I'm going in the morning, and I don't have to stress about that. So we're going to go and have a wander. So yeah, I'll speak to you later. So we've just got back to the room and we're about to head out for some dinner. I've just been trying to get my kit ready so that I know that I'm alright for tomorrow. So I'll show you what I've got. So I've got my race number, very important. I've got some energy gels because this is a half marathon. I don't need as many as what I had for the marathon. I've done quite a few half marathons now, so I kind of know what works for me. So I usually have one after about 4 miles, one after 8 miles, and then one if I need it at 12 miles. So that's my strategy. I've got my Run Club vest, my shorts, my headphones, my underwear, swear by it. I've also got some pants as well. Then I've got my compression socks because of my leg niggle. I think they'll help me tomorrow. And then I've got my running vest as well, which I've also got a couple of flasks, but I'll probably just take one tomorrow with some tailwind in to help with hydration. So yeah, that's my kit. So we went out to scope the area and see where the start line is, and it's about 30 minutes or so to the start area, and seeing all the signs and everything got me quite excited. I did this event in 2019 and obviously due to the pandemic it's not happened for a couple of years, and then I was really lucky to get into the ballot again. I never thought that would happen. So I'm just really happy to be taking part again. I never thought I would do it again, so I'm really excited. Although obviously what's happened with the Queen is really sad, so it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow, because I know it's going to be a little bit different from previous years just because of what's happened with the Queen. So I think we're going to have a minute's silence at the start, and a more subdued atmosphere than the previous years, but I'm sure it's still going to be amazing. So I'm happy that it's going ahead, and yeah, I'm just a bit worried about my leg, so I'm just going to do my best, try and enjoy the atmosphere and not worry about my time or if I need to walk or anything like that. So I'm just going to do as best as I can. I've done a lot of training for this. I've been training since June. It's now September. I've done lots of long runs. I've done up to 12 miles. So, and it's been hard, you know, with my leg. I noticed it, I'd say about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it started giving me a bit of trouble. And I've been to see the physio, and I've been told that it's fine to carry on running. I've been given some strengthening exercises, but it's been difficult to keep going. So I'm glad that I've made it here, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. So yeah, I'm just off for some food now, and then probably an early night. Morning. So it's the morning of the Great North Run, and I've just woken up and I'm having some protein oats, which I always have on the morning of a long run or a race. We have got breakfast included in the room cost, so we'll probably go down to breakfast shortly and just see what they have, but I wanted to make sure that I had porridge. And then yeah, I'm gonna get ready in a minute when I've eaten this, tape up my leg, and yeah, head to breakfast. Oh, I'm feeling nervous.
Easy way to get to the spectator section. A little bit up the hill and we should be right there.
every minute. Can we ask everyone in your zones to move to the front of your zones to allow everyone else who's coming in just now to come in at the back? Can we ask everyone to slowly move forward to the front of your zones to allow all the other athletes to come and join you as we count down to the start of the Great North Run.
Life touched so many of us and so deeply, defining who we are, inspiring who we might be. Today we run this race as a tribute to Her Majesty's life and service.
Sue, hello Sue, there for break. What charities are you representing? St Oswald's Hospice, breast bowel cancer. There's Bliss, Martin is Bliss, it's official. David for Run Fast, running for Chuff. Come on guys, nice to see you. Norwich City Tops there. Hello Bright, Shine, Rosemere, Gateshead Harriers, Heath, Tommy's, Park Run, Parkinson's. I'm there. Men in China's Research. Hello all. Good to see you. Craig. Love you too. Thank you, Richard, Jeffrey, Mark, Teenage Cancer Trust. Who's all looking very, very Hollywood, Steve. Thank you, man. Thank you, mate. Nice to see you, Jake. Cheers, man. There's Alice NSPCC, King Dogs for the Blade. Chaz, providing food and relief. Let's do this. Will, Lorna, Aoife, and Karen. Aoife's right, isn't it? I think it's right. Hang on. Hands of Hope over here. Macmillan Cancer Trust.
I don't know what to say. So I finished. That was really hard. It was really warm, really hilly, hillier than I remember. It was really hot as well, and I was struggling all the way around, and I had to also needed the toilet all the way around, and I needed to go to the toilet at mile 10. So yeah, I struggled quite a lot, but at least I did it. But yeah, it wasn't my best half marathon by a long way, really. But yeah, at least I did it, and it's quite pretty here. Lots of people. So I think we're just gonna go and try and find something to eat, and then try and get back to the car, which is back in Newcastle. We're in South Shields now, and I think it's going to be really busy on the metro, so that's the next challenge. But yeah, at least I did it. the Great North Run, and I thought I would do a bit of an update because it was a bit manic. Because it's such a massive event, it was really manic afterwards, and I found it really difficult to film and talk, and plus my battery was dying as well, so I couldn't really get as much footage as I wanted to. But yeah, just how I feel now, how it's all over, now it's all over. To be honest, like, I found that really, really tough. I have done the Great North Run before in 2019, and I feel I was much fitter then, and I had trained more, and I really enjoyed it that time. I got a really fast for me time. Yesterday I struggled a lot. I won't lie, I completely forgot how hilly it was. I completely forgot how many people there were. I think it was around 60,000 runners. It was absolutely insane. There's so many people, which makes it very difficult to run in a straight line because there's so many people and you're dodging around constantly. People stop in front of you, so you can't keep a consistent pace, especially on the hills. A lot of people were walking up the hills, which is fine. I did the same, but it just meant that there was a bit of a backlog sometimes just because of how many people there were. So it was really difficult to kind of keep going at a consistent pace. There was bottles of water and gel packets and banana peels and things all over the floor. So you had to be careful that you didn't slip. So you always had to be careful where you were running. So it was just, to be honest, I think the word is chaotic. It was very chaotic. At the start line, there was that many people, like it took about 45 minutes just to walk to my area where I was starting, and then we waited about 45 minutes to start then as well. It was nice. They did a memorial to the Queen and a minute's silence, and that was all really nice. But yeah, it just took a while to get going. Another thing was the toilet situation was a bit, again, chaotic. I think it was just the sheer volume of runners. There weren't enough toilets. I was absolutely bursting for the toilet when I got to the start line, and there was nowhere to go, so I had to go in a bush at the side. And there was others doing the same thing as well, and it's like all dignity goes out of the window. But I couldn't go properly because I was like stressed about other people being there. So I basically ran most of the race really needing a wee, and it was so painful. And about at mile 10, I had to stop and use the toilet. And yeah, it just threw me off because I've never done that before in a race. So it was just a bit chaotic and all over the place. And I think for that reason, and also my leg, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I've got an injury to my leg, which I've been told is fine to run on, but you know, I know it's not right. And again, that puts me in I suppose a negative mindset. I'm thinking, you know, I've got this and I can't do it how I would normally do it, and it hurts a little bit. I put some tape on it, I wore my compression socks, but I was worrying about it, so that didn't help my mindset, I don't think. And because of all those things, you know, I did, when I got to like the water checkpoints as well, they were so busy. So if you wanted to get some water, it was difficult not to stop. And then once you've stopped, it's kind of, you're out of your flow. So every time I went to the water station, I ended up stopping, walking a little bit, having my water, and I had to stop to go to the toilet as well. So, and it was just really busy. So all of those things, you know, taking into account all of those things, it was just difficult race, and I enjoyed the atmosphere. There was a really good atmosphere, lots of crowd support, which was amazing. And it's one of them things that's kind of like a once in a lifetime type race. There's not many races like that. I think the London Marathon is probably a close comparison to kind of the atmosphere and the volume of people. But yeah, I enjoyed the event. I didn't enjoy just the amount of people, and I struggled. I don't think I did enough training. I don't think I was mentally prepared. I don't think I was prepared for the hills. I completely forgot how up and down it was. So yeah, it was kind of disappointing for me in terms of how much I struggled, and just the time I got at the end, you know, it was a lot slower than, and I know time doesn't matter, and I need to tell myself that time does not matter, but the fact is, in 2019 I did the race in about half an hour quicker. So I was a bit disappointed when I saw my final time, but I was proud that despite all of the challenges in my leg, I still did it, and that's the main thing. I didn't give up, and I'm not the sort of person that gives up. And I could have easily said I'm not going to do it, or I'm going to, like, you know, halfway through give up, but I didn't. So I'm proud of myself for that, but it was a struggle, and it sounds bad, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to and as much as I did in 2019. But it's done, and it's another half marathon, and it's something to be proud of. I've done a lot of half marathons now. I've lost count, which, you know, in itself is something to be proud of. So, you know, they're not all going to be good. You always have, what I've learned over years of running is you're going to have some good runs, some bad runs, but the bad runs they don't mean that you're a bad runner. It's just everybody has good days, good races, bad days and bad races, and it's just one of them. And for me, that was a bad race, but at least I did it, and I had a nice weekend. I'm absolutely exhausted now. The sheer volume of people made it very, very difficult to get, because the race starts in Newcastle and finishes in South Shields, which is 13 miles away. The challenge is, once finishing the race, getting back to Newcastle. So yeah, that was a massive challenge with the sheer volume of people. The queues for the metro were ridiculous. Like, we had to queue for hours, like, that's not even exaggeration, to get to the metro back to the city centre, and then they were all packed, and it was just like it was just a nightmare. And when you're already in pain from running a half marathon, and your legs are hurting, your feet are hurting, and you just want to sit down, you're just standing in queues for another few hours, and oh, it was like torture. So the race finished, I finished the race early afternoon. Another thing is, I couldn't get any food because of the queues for all of the food stalls were massive, and then we queued for a couple, and then we realised they were all cash only, so we had no cash. So basically it was impossible to get food, so I had like a snack, but I just wasn't prepared, so I didn't recover very well. And by the time we got back into Newcastle, it was already about 6 o'clock, and that's how long it took. And then we had a 3-hour drive home. So we were just exhausted, and it was just a long day, and we didn't get home till 10. And then when we got home, had McDonald's, which it was like desperation. I felt bad, but I was that hungry, and yeah, it's not the right food to have for recovery, but I hadn't had any recovery because there was just no way of getting anything. I'd had water and a Lucozade, but yeah, so it was just a bit, yeah, it's chaotic. So if you ever do the Great North Run, make sure you take cash with you for the end, and make sure you take your own recovery shake or snacks or whatever you need at the end, and that's where I went wrong. But yeah, and prepare for a very long wait back to the centre. I think in hindsight it might have been better to stay another night, but it's just the cost of that as well. You know, it was quite expensive to stay just for one night, so it is what it is. But yeah, so that's my post-race evaluation, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I would have liked to film more while I was running, but it was that stressful, and it was very difficult for me to film and run, and my battery was dying, so I wasn't very prepared really. Hopefully in the future I'm going to look into getting like a GoPro mount thing that I can actually attach to me, because I can't run while holding a camera. It's just, I just can't do it. It hurts my arm. So yeah, but yeah, hopefully that you've enjoyed what I've managed to get footage wise, and I hope you enjoy the video, and please subscribe to my channel for videos about scoliosis and my running journey and my challenges, and I will see you in the next video.